I'm Sasha, the founder of Conscious Awakening Co. and channel of Mary Magdalene. I am here channeling the Magdalene Codes for the modern day Magdalene, for the goddess living today. And it is my honor to bring through this message regarding the impact of guilt on the digestive system. Now, the energy of guilt is something that is being cleared through many different lineages at this time. So if you are a Magdalene soul, a warrior soul, a light worker soul, a healer soul, then potentially the energy of guilt, that emotional charge frequency that has come through the lineage as a result of various experiences throughout the soul lifetime of that family constellation. If you are holding this frequency of guilt and it is part of your soul's purpose to transcend it, to transform it, to alchemize it, then this video is for you. Potentially you have experienced, or people in your family, even partners, have experienced digestive health issues. These a wide myriad of issues, challenges, discomforts. And you might notice that it's not like a consistent, it moves up and down. And this is because it's connected deeply to the energetics and the emotions moving through the physical body as held by the spiritual, emotional oversoul's body. So as these souls, these powerful warrior souls are coming online, becoming awakened and conscious of this experience that they have, of this very beautiful opportunity that they have. This is a really powerful shift because it is not only healing that individual if you do this work, but it's also healing future generations and healing the entire lineage. So let's talk a little bit about this frequency of guilt. Where does it come from and how does it impact the digestive system? So the energies of guilt are ancient energies that were kind of impacting humanity because of this, especially if that soul or lineage was a sensitive and intuitive family. It was kind of like a sponge, like it was absorbed into the cells. And the energy of guilt is a foreign entity. It's not, endemic or natural to you as a human being, as a soul, having this sacred experience. And so you can think of guilt as like these kind of foreign layers. Think of it as kind of like a fungal infection, a fungus that kind of infects and causes disruption. And guilt feeds upon guilt. So if you are having a core wound of guilt, which is part of your soul's purpose to transcend and transform it, do not be worried if you step into or kind of are overwhelmed by this and you attract certain situations or experiences in your life, be they physical illnesses, be they, attracting different people, places, experiences as a way for you to see the reflection of that guilt that you hold inside. So it's a really powerful practice for you to sit back and observe and take note of the patterns in your life. So the pattern of guilt was something that was very prominent in my own family line and in my own system. And the alchemization of this guilt, once I realized and became consciously aware and awakened to this fact, everything just stood out to me in plain sight. And it was no longer this kind of unconscious heaviness that I was just kind of dealing with. I was able to start working with that energy understanding the wisdom that those wounds hold, not only in my own body, in my own life, but in that of my entire lineage, that I was able to start alchemizing, transforming, transcending, and essentially clearing my system of this. So guilt is one of those energies that is quite sticky, it's quite heavy, it's like this subconscious emotion. And if you were born into a lineage where guilt was one of the kind of, I guess, reigning soul lessons or alchemizations, you might not know yourself without guilt. But as you start to tap into that and examine the stickiness of that energy, where it sits in the body. So predominantly, guilt sits in the sacral chakra and in the solar plexus, so in the stomach and the womb area. This is where guilt is. The womb is also accumulating, has the potential to accumulate the energy of shame. So that guilt can show up in those core chakras that are the very center of you. And those heavy energies are extremely disruptive to the systems in the physical body. Everything is so interrelated, energetically, your spiritual body through your emotions is connected to your physical body. And it's like this very beautiful, complex matrix of information. So if guilt is present, some of the symptoms you may experience are kind of digestive. You might have like IBS, you might have, what are the other ones? Like gas. I'm trying to think of anything like intolerances to certain things. And what I would say here, and what Mary very clearly wanted me to bring through this message, is that it is not what you eat. It is not what you consume. Rather, in isolation, right? The more important impact here to your digestive health is the frequency with which your body and your system receives that food, that nourishment, that information from the outside environment. So if you're holding that energy of guilt in your stomach, in your digestive system, the system's not able to flow. The system's not able to do its job. It's very much weighed down, and it's not actually allowing you to absorb the nutrients and the vitamins and the goodness from your food, because the guilt is acting like a barrier between you and that receiving. And this is the other important message around guilt, is that guilt is preventing you from receiving that which you desire. Because on the one hand, you want the relationship, you want the soulmate, you want the soul purpose career to be unlocked, you want the abundance, you want the pay rise, the job. But if you're holding this guilt in your system, the nourishment and the love is not able to effortlessly flow into your being. So how do we go about clearing this guilt, and what is it that we can do? First of all, awareness is like 50% of that. If you've made it this far, and if you're resonating with this and you're like, yes, I'm feeling this, like you feel that intuitive pull, the next stage is like observation. Where in those moments in your life do you get triggered? Does guilt come up? Guilt could be a subconscious program that is literally running every thought, everything that you may have imprinted it in you, not only through your lineage, but through your mother or father or the people around you. So by creating space between you and this, it's like, hang on, why am I feeling guilty? I don't want to do this, but yet I feel guilty. So guilt is pushing me to do this. Do you see how that energy is very much in control of your life? That aspect of you that feels not worthy, that feels guilty, that feels like it's all their fault, like that's the part that we need to work with. That's the part that's holding that energy. And so when we start to build a relationship, connect to love, tap into that part of ourselves, that's when we start to bit by bit release it. So there are many different ways in which you can go about this. You can journal, you can do somatic work, you can do therapy, you can, do a cacao ceremony. So whatever the format that is right for you to explore this, you know, in conjunction with your other healthcare professionals, with, you know, the physical body, you know, the nutrition, the probiotics, all of that. It all needs to work together, but ultimately nothing will shift your health like shifting out that foreign entity, that energy. But the key is really understanding the messages from it, and allowing those feelings to be felt in a safe place, and to be held space for, and to be integrated, and ultimately alchemized back into, you know, from guilt we move into desire, we move into, you know, living from the heart, and really tapping into that guilt-free living, that self-expression, you know, because think about the amount of other people or organizations that can benefit from little old you feeling guilty all the time and being easily manipulated. So this is about reclaiming your life for you. And that's what the Magdalene Codes are. They're an activation. That's what these channeled messages are. Everything I do in my card decks, my books, my masterclasses, and my courses, this is all centered around the Magdalene Codes, which are those codes of feminine empowerment that are already within you, that are just ready to be activated, turned on, and for you to live from that whole place, you know, free from the energies of guilt that hold you back, that hold you down, and that have been causing, you know, various physiological and medical issues in your family line and in yourself. Really stepping into health, happiness, harmony. So I hope that that message of love from the Magdalene, from Mary, has helped you. Don't forget to subscribe, follow me for more, and I cannot wait to bring you more healing transmissions from Mary Magdalene very, very soon. Much love to you.